Assalamu alaikum. Masa al khair al jamii, and we would like to welcome all of you to our today's workshop, which is dedicated for our preparatory year students. Basically, how to prepare PYP students for final writing exam. So presented by Mr. Ibrahim Madani. So Mr. Ibrahim, the floor is yours. You may start now.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everybody. Sorry for being a little bit late because of some we tried to solve some technical issues. Anyway, welcome everybody to today's workshop. And as you see, guys, it's about preparation or preparing the PYP students or um, preparatory year program for final writing exam. Actually, this workshop is going to be about the pre-writing and writing, while writing, and post-writing. We are not going to repeat actually what my colleagues have already covered in previous workshops. So I would like to address selected areas at different levels. But just as an icebreaker, I just want you quickly to think about the slides that I'm going to share with you right now. And I want to see your comments on this. Writing comes more easily if you have something to say. What does this imply to you? I mean, you can use the chat box to reflect on this. What does it mean to you? Writing comes more easily if you have something to say. What do you understand from this? All right. Yeah, it means if I can just put it in a few words, writing comes more easily. You can do the writing so easily if you have got information, if you have got a message, if you have something to say, if you have a message to send it, or if you have something to say, that means prepared for the writing. Okay, let's look at the next one quickly. Good writing, yes. What do you think of this? Good writing is clear thinking made visible. What does it mean to you? Good writing is clear thinking made visible. I just want to link this thinking to writing. When we have information, of course, we need to think about the ways of conveying this information, the ways of writing this information in an effective way and in an interesting way. So it's about thinking in the first place, thinking about what to write and thinking about how to write it. Okay, these 2 points summarize, I think, the whole thing that we are going to discuss in our today's workshop: thinking, collecting information, and then start writing. And of course, as you have discussed, I mean, in previous workshops, there are steps that we will go through during writing. But today, my focus will be on only, 2 levels, okay? I will try to focus on sentence level of writing. Let's skip this. Sentence level of writing, as you know, guys, this is the first part for level 1 and 2. They have got first part is about sentence level writing, sentence grammar or sentence mechanics, like capitalization or punctuation or using of full stops and commas, whatever. So at the sentence level, we cannot cover, of course, everything. I have selected only 2 points to discuss in this workshop. The first one, I think, and we have so many, I mean, we noticed that students have got problems with word order. And, that the standard word order of a sentence, or we have got, of course, so many other sentence patterns, but this is the standard SVO, and S stands for subject, verb, object. This is the order, because the sentence is about the verb, about the subject. The sentence is all about the subject. That's why we place the subject in the beginning. And of course, there are so many ways of conduct or putting words in the right order. And the result of it, I mean, if you do not know how to put words in the right order, the result of this of wrong word order is a confusing, okay, confusing and unclear or even incorrect sentence. So your sentence can be problematic or can be confusing if you do not follow the correct order of the words, and you will be penalized for this. Of course, you are going to lose marks if your sentences, and this is one of the major grammar points that will be yes, counted in the evaluation, in the rubric, in the rating scale. The word order is not is a big one of the big yes, big errors. Subject verb agreement is the second part, because this is one of the problems. When we say subject verb agreement, we mean it's a common. This is common, I mean, among writers at different levels. I'm not talking here about level 2 or level 1. It's across the students that they have got problems with subject verb agreement. That means, and if I want to put this in simple English, I would say basic grammar rules is that a singular subject takes a singular verb form, and a plural or a compound subject takes a plural verb. But the question, is it always easy, I mean, to determine the subject and whether it or not, and whether it's plural or not? So sometimes we do not know if the subject is singular or plural. And agreement is very important, and we have to pay attention to subject-verb agreement in grammar and even in forming simple sentences. The first thing we need to do to identify the subject, sometimes we need to identify the subject of the sentence. For example, the complete subject can be a whole phrase. Sometimes we have single words, or sometimes you have a phrase. Sometimes you have, noun phrase. Okay, we will see here, we have got an example. This example, I want you to identify or show me the subject of the sentence and why we use is, although we have got plurals. And we have plurals here. Look at this sentence. If I ask you to show me the subject here, the subject of the sentence, what would you say? Where is the subject? The subject of the sentence can be a whole phrase or just a single word. My question here is, which can you identify the subject of this sentence? Okay, let's skip this and move on. I just want to move quickly because we have a lot of things to discuss. Uh, Here, what I'm saying, the subject sometimes can be a whole phrase like this, or can be just a single word, or the the real subject of this is the word reasons. All right, but sometimes we have to write the complete or the full subject of the sentence, and we can decide whether the subject is plural or singular, and that will help us, of course, to decide which verb form to choose. And here we can avoid the problem of agreement if you know the subject and whether it's plural or singular. Now, yes, let's move on to the next step, and we will go to. I think there are a lot of things to discuss at sentence level, but as I said, I have just selected two things, and the second part is essay level or writing essay. Let's start with pre-writing stage or phase of writing. Uh, Getting started, before you start writing, as suggested by this picture, what is it about? Can you give me your opinions or your ideas about this picture? What does it stand for? It stands for the first step of writing, the first thing that we do before we get to the writing. What do you think this stage is? I will look at the chat and see. Okay, I said the first step of essay writing is the pre-writing stage. And normally here we are referring to the techniques of collecting information. And brainstorming, as you see here, is one of the strategies that we use to generate ideas. And if you look at the notes here, it's a popular technique, a popular technique for getting started. It refers to generating list of ideas. Of course, this is what you need before you start writing. You need ideas. And this helps discover what you want to write about. It helps you to discover the topic you are about to write on. And it means this is how to do it, or explaining what we mean by brainstorming. It means coming up with as many ideas as we can without stopping to think about the ideas or judge them. So because at this particular level, we are merely concerned with collecting ideas, and we jot down whatever comes to our mind without thinking about whether it is correct grammatically, or we don't care about spelling or any other aspect of language. You can brainstorm, of course, alone. You can do that by yourself, or you can do it with someone else or with a partner, or you can do it in a group, of course. And you can do it aloud, of course, or do it on a piece of paper. And sometimes you can even do it in your head silently, brainstorm with that before you write. I think this is a very important strategy for collecting ideas about a topic. It is not the only way, of course, of collecting information. Sometimes you need to do some reading and researching for information, because brainstorming only about what you have background experience, which is not enough sometimes to write full essay. You need to read more. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Another technique for um, collecting or generating ideas is using word mapping. This technique is very simple, and it means, or it refers to, a way to link your ideas. Your ideas must be linked together in a visual way or visual representation. And how to do that is simply just take a blank sheet of paper and write the topic in the middle or in the center of that paper, and then write your main ideas, right, of the topic. We are going to do this practically, but actually no time for brainstorming. We can take actual examples or real examples from the assessment, writing assessment that we have here. Okay, take a piece of paper, write the topic in the middle, and then write the main ideas around that topic. Then you link these ideas with arrows, and you think of further information, and then your ideas cluster outwards. I mean, you will create a very big map of the ideas. This is one of the techniques. We have, of course, other techniques like free writing and quick writing. These are all used for generating or collecting ideas before you start writing. And of course, after I have enough or big body of information, it is not enough just to collect the information. You need to do something else. And here, as you see, we have to filter this information. And by filtering, I mean sorting the ideas, including relevant ideas only. You don't need to write everything. You have to include only relevant ideas, and you have to exclude or cross out irrelevant ones. This is what we do after we collect our ideas. We need to filter, or this sometimes used as outlining stage. The outlining is the same thing. You put them in the order that you want to write your essay. Okay, and essay writing, or in the process, essay writing, we have the three major parts of the essay. We are going to look at each part in some details, but and are going to have some practice at the end of this presentation. The first part is introduction, uh, body paragraphs. It depends on the length, according to the prompts, according to the instructions of the assignment. Sometimes they ask you to write 200 or 270, as we will say. So in this case, you need to have more body paragraphs. But for level 1 and 2, you have only one paragraph, right? And then the concluding paragraph, right? If we look quickly, I think there was a workshop about introductions and hooks and thesis statement. It covers in some details, I guess, about how to include in your introduction. But here, what I'm referring quickly to the introduction, because this is the first paragraph of your essay, and you have to think very carefully of what to include in this introductory paragraph. And you have to give to introduce your topic in a very interesting way, and you have to think of making it very catchy and very interesting. There are some ways, of course, of doing that, like start with a quotation or with a fact or a statistics, or whatever you include in uh, this background information. And also in process essay, the introductory paragraph explains. It should explain when and why and what situation a procedure is used. So it explains how, or it gives guideline to the how what paragraphs or body paragraph will be in this essay. Let's move on to the next slide. You know, there is the thesis statement. I have chosen to talk about the thesis statement because it's very important. From the thesis, we decide the body paragraphs, because our thesis should exactly show how many body paragraph, and we're going to see this practically now. Let's see what we mean by that. The thesis statement could be the last sentence. Sometimes we have to place it at the last sentence of your introduction. And the purpose of it, or why we put it there, it narrows down the main ideas or summarizes the main ideas. Okay. And in a process essay, also the thesis statement identifies the process or the procedure that we are going to follow in our writing, and it indicates the main steps. So let's stop at this word, the main steps here. By the main steps, we mean the body paragraph, in which, yeah, the body paragraph that we are going to have in this, according to this thesis. So here, I mean, the specific main steps of the procedure described in the body paragraph. Each step in the thesis will be the main idea of one of the body paragraphs. You know, this is very important. We are going to see this in a minute. So the reader knows exactly what to expect in the body paragraphs from the thesis. So that's very important to form or to write your thesis very carefully, because in your body paragraph, you're going to explain your thesis. So that's a very important part of your writing. Okay, now I'm going to show you an introduction, and I want you to answer these questions from that introduction. First, what process does this essay describe? You need to tell me. Yes, the process. What does or what kind of all right, what kind of process is followed or described in this essay? The second point, how many body paragraph does the reader expect in this essay? And finally, what information should the reader expect? Again, let's look at what to do. I mean, I want you to answer these three questions. The first one, the process the essay describes, okay? And the body paragraph suggested or the reader expects from your writing. And finally, the information should the reader expect, okay? So these are the three questions. And now I will move on to show you the paragraph, okay? This is the paragraph. It's about stress, okay? You can take 2 minutes to read it quickly and show me where is the thesis statement, and to answer, I mean, the three questions. Okay, if you're ready, you can share. You don't need to write the whole sentence. You can just write the beginning of the sentence to show me which one you mean. Okay. All right, good. Can you share, please, your ideas? Just write the first word of the thesis statement. Did you do that? Okay, in order to save the time, the thesis here is the last sentence. When a person wants to relax or reduce stress, you know, this is the thesis statement of the whole paragraph. Okay, let me go to the next question. How many body paragraph does it suggest? How many body paragraph from the thesis do you think? Yeah, when a person wants, exactly. Yeah, that's yes, only one. Okay, so yeah, we have got answers two. Yeah, two, one. Okay. Yeah, of course we have got two body paragraphs. Why two? Those who said two, please explain. The correct one, of course, is two paragraph, two body paragraphs suggested in this thesis. Can any one of the guys who said two explain? Yeah, there is two ways, exactly, yes, Abdulaziz. All right. Two ways of meditation. Okay, meditation. Okay. So from the thesis, you can understand how many, here, procedure of two main steps involving comfort and mental attitude. So it says how many things or how many points should you or should you cover. Okay, great. Let's move to the second example. We have got another paragraph. This is about medical herbs. Take just 1 or 2 minutes to look at it and then tell me where the thesis and how many body paragraph and what process does it explain or describe. 2 minutes. Okay, if you are ready, you can share your findings or your ideas now, please. All right, what are the thesis? Oh, yes, great, very good. Actually, the thesis is here. It is easy to use, it's the last sentence. It's easy to use this type of remedy as it requires only 2 steps. Preparing the herb and then applying the preparation to the skin. This is the thesis. And the second question, if you remember, we have got 3 questions to answer here. I will take with the questions. How many body paragraphs does the reader expect in this essay? How many body paragraphs, guys? Yeah, 2 body paragraphs. All right, good. And question number 3, what procedure or the process that does it describe? Question 3. What process does this essay describe? If you look at the thesis, it describes the 2 ways of doing this medication. How to prepare the herbs and then applying them or apply what you prepare to the skin. Okay, any question about this before we move to the next part? Yeah, of course, yeah, that's right. 2 body paragraphs and let's move to the last or the next part here. Okay, here we have the concluding paragraph. We'll talk a little bit about the concluding paragraph. First, guys, I want to take you to the 3 parts of the essay. The introduction, you have to think of what to include in the introduction. as we mentioned, and the two body paragraphs suggested in the thesis statement. You have to write your thesis carefully and to make it clear enough so that can be reflected or can be explained in the body paragraph. And finally, your concluding paragraph. This is the last paragraph of your essay. All right. It completes the essay by telling. Sometimes the readers feel that this is the last paragraph because it suggests or it shows that this is the end and we have got our message across or we have delivered our message. That's all to say. Of course, there are several ways to write your concluding paragraph. You can write it in different ways. We have got some suggested ways of writing the conclusion or the concluding paragraph. Let's say, let's see what we have here. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, sometimes the concluding paragraph summarizes. It's a summary or restating the main ideas in different language. You are not just copy the same. You are not going to copy what you write in the first paragraph in the concluding paragraph. It's not like repeating what you have said. You write summary or briefly restating your main points. And also the conclusion can be, or it adds actually final comments. It should include final comments or about the topic covered in the body paragraph. And that's by making predictions about the future, about the topic, of course. So prediction about the future. You can include your predictions and you can give advice or make suggestion in your concluding paragraph. And sometimes the concluding paragraph shows the results of the discussion and the analysis in the two body paragraph. You should arrive at a conclusion or conclusions or findings of your situation or of your topic, right? And here we have something else to say about the concluding paragraph. There are things that you should not, of course, include in the concluding paragraph. You don't need to add any new information, right? The body paragraph, the concluding paragraph, as we said, should be a summary or restating the introduction, but not adding new information. It's not okay, I mean, to add new information in the conclusion. And the conclusion should include every part of the essay. It should not be only for some part or some information of the essay. Especially when you summarize or restate the main ideas, you should include all of them, all the ideas mentioned in the essay. So these are the 2 points you should consider when you write your conclusion. All right. We are going to practice this. I'm going to ask you about a conclusion and an introduction. You are going to show me how well they fit together. So the practice or the practical part of this is to decide each concluding paragraph, whether each concluding paragraph fits well with its introduction. I will show you the introduction and the conclusion. And we are going to see how they fit to each other. And we see whether there is a problem or whether it has a problem that needs improvement, or if you think the conclusion might be improved, or suggestions, or make suggestion about how to do that. Okay, the problems could be the conclusion adds new information. Sometimes if you see if you look at the conclusion, And if it adds new information, there is a problem here. It should be changed. The conclusion does not fully summarize the main ideas, or it doesn't restate the thesis. Okay, so here you are going to tell me how well do this the introduction and the conclusion fit together, and if there is any problem with the conclusion. Let's see what we have now here. We have got the introduction and we have got the conclusion. I will give you time to read and decide whether everything is okay with the introduction and conclusion. Okay, I will give you 2 minutes. Okay, Abdulaziz, I'm going to answer your question, of course, how to prepare and how to use. Uh, you mean the how to prepare for the concluding paragraph? Is that your question? Okay, yeah, I have got an answer here. It introduces new topic. What is that topic? You know, it's very important when you write a concluding paragraph not to include any new information. The new information should be discussed in body paragraph. And also, the introduction is not for discussing, or it's just for showing the guidelines and stating or introducing the topic using medication. Okay, all right. All right, thank you so much. Okay. Um, All right, now I'm going to take you, I'm going to skip the next part. It's about narrative writing. So I'm going to skip this part. I will take you to actual samples of the final writing exams. And we are going to practice exactly how to do this practically in this class or in this presentation. The first one, let's look at the first slide or the first part. And this is from 102 final writing exam. And just please let me know if you are facing any problem, if it is not clear, if you can't read it. The internet can be very bad for our health. Do you agree or disagree? Write a paragraph giving your opinion about this topic. And your paragraph should have a topic sentence, supporting ideas, and concluding sentence. You have to give at least 3 reasons for your opinion, right? You have to give examples to support your reasons. And you have to use at least 5 of the following words, these connected words. Also, to, but, however, you need to use 5 of this. Now, we want to discuss or how could we start writing this assignment. The first thing to begin with, the internet can be very bad for our health. Do you agree or disagree? What kind of paragraph is this? It's about what? Comparing, or it's about what? Okay, Abdulaziz. Okay. Persuasion, do you think so? Write a paragraph giving your opinion. You know, you are going to write about your opinion. Let's start with a good topic sentence. If I ask you to write a topic sentence, let's start together writing a good topic sentence for this. Any suggestions for the topic sentence? Can we start doing it right now? Okay, yeah, that's great. Thank you, Hussein. All right. The pros and cons. All right. Yeah. Sometimes we use the positives and negatives, or we use the advantages and disadvantages of the internet. But still, I want you to put it in a sentence. Over the years, humans have become more and more dependent on the internet. Okay, great. But you know, here, if you start with this topic sentence, you need to think about the supporting ideas that you are going to write, supporting ideas. So your topic sentence should be very focused on what the rubric is, what the rubric wants. Mhm. ماشي موجود. It's there, inshallah. It will be given to you. It will be shared with you, ya Ali, inshallah. Can internet be bad for? Yes. Mhm. This is a rhetorical question. Yeah, that's a very good attempt. Yeah. Can the internet be bad? All right. Internet has many advantages and disadvantages. Great, Omar. Oh yes, you can write that one. But here, if I ask you to look at the keywords here, internet can be bad for our health. You know, it's not about, it's not open. I mean, it's about our health. It can be bad for our health. So you have to focus on this point. You know, if I want to underline the keywords here, I will say, I would say internet, underline the internet, and health, and then your opinion. Okay, yeah, this is a very good attempt. Thank you everyone for participating and sharing ideas. Okay, excessive use of internet, yes, Hussein. Yeah. Okay, great. Yes, internet can be bad. Yeah. All right. So that's great. Now we want to move to the next step. You know, when I say a good, a good topic sentence will make it easier for the reader to follow what is going to come after this topic sentence. Let's think about the supporting ideas. Because here the rubric specifies here, you have to write at least 3 reasons for your opinion. Whether you agree or disagree, you have to write something after the topic sentence showing your opinion. So give at least 3 reasons, give examples. So the supporting ideas can be reasons or examples, sometimes can be facts. You have to include facts. Now let's think of supporting sentences. There is a common mistake, guys. Usually when we have questions like that, some students start their paragraph by yes, I agree. Yes, I agree. You can start with a rhetorical question, but you can't start with a yes or no. You have to involve that in your sentence. I believe, according to me, and I have got some reasons you can say that. Okay, I'm looking just for your supporting sentences. Let's move quickly, guys. Supporting sentences. Give reasons. Agree or disagree. Many health issues are linked to the internet. You need to make your sentence very clear, Omar. When you say many health issues, for example, many health issues are linked to the internet. For example, you have to clarify the sentence. Because when I read, I don't want to stop and think or search for other information. You have to give me full information. It's a very good sentence. Okay, many health issues can be linked to the internet or the excessive use using the internet too much or spending. Okay, yeah, Abdulaziz, the younger generation. Okay, addicted to internet. Okay, so when you include figures or statistics, you have to be sure that these statistics are correct. Okay, make sure that you are giving correct information. Or if you are not sure, you can say, I think. Okay, that's great. Okay, Ali, wait, inshallah, we are going to share the link with you, inshallah. Okay, if I ask you guys to include one of these linking words, I want you to include one of these linking words in your, let's say, I will choose one of these words, however. Can you include it in a sentence, in a supporting sentence? However, and you know, however is used for contrast when you want to say something different from what you mentioned earlier. It's contrast. Or you can use, for example, I think some of you said, okay, good. We have got another example from 104. Let's think of writing a concluding sentence. Yeah, great. Thank you, Abdulaziz. Yeah, you have, yes, included that in a good sentence. However, it makes, yeah. So the placement of however here is okay. Yeah. Can you give me a concluding sentence? Any suggestion for a concluding sentence? All right, great. Yeah. Okay, perfect. 10. All right. Okay, that's a great example. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Hussein. I appreciate it. Okay, guys, now it's time to write. I need to say some suggestions for the concluding paragraph. Okay, no problem, no issues. Okay, Abdulaziz, your sentence is okay, but here, when you write a concluding sentence, you have to summarize what you mentioned in the beginning. Or you can include, it's just like when you write concluding paragraph, you can include your opinion, you can include your prediction about what happens. This is a very good topic, by the way. You can make very good predictions about the future, or you can write something about or give advice of the wise use of internet, because uh, students waste, yeah, too much time on the internet, and this can be can affect their uh, study. All right, I'm just looking for more examples of concluding paragraphs. Okay, great. Yeah, spending many hours and on. Okay, great. That's fine. Yeah, thank you all. Let's look at 104. I think in 104, if you see here, the word limit here between 100, 130 words, 100 or 130 words. That means you are not writing more than, I mean, let's say 10 or 15 lines. And that is a short paragraph. It's not very long paragraph. The case is different when we go to 104. Let's see another example from level 4. And this is the question taken from real or actual level 4 writing or final writing exam. Let's discuss together uh, what to write, I mean, or how to address this. Take a look at the rubric and take a look at the prompts and see what and the guidelines. Should governments make adverts for junk food illegal? Okay, if you're ready, let's start, guys. The first thing to do, as you know, is to look at the assignment and try to understand the requirements. Write a well-organized 4-paragraph balanced opinion essay, which contains, you know, you have got these prompts or these points. You have to include every point here. If I ask you to highlight or underline the keywords in the question at the top, it's about government, adverts, and it's about junk food and the word illegal. So these are the keywords. Your writing should be around this. You should not go off topic or partially off topic. You have to focus on this. Your writing should be focused on these keywords. And also you have to follow the prompts. The first part, they ask you very clearly to write the introduction or introductory paragraph with a hook and background information and thesis statement, which explains what the body paragraphs will be about. This is what we discussed now. I think what we discussed in the previous slides. We talked about the thesis statement decides exactly how many body paragraph the reader expects. You should write this very clearly in your thesis statement. Okay, now let's begin. If I ask you guys to write yeah, we cannot write, of course, all this. We cannot write the full essay. We can just write examples of an introductory paragraph. I want you guys to give me an introductory paragraph before you state the topic. Yeah, safe. All right. Great. Hussein, yeah, wonderful. Mhm. Okay, that's great. Yeah, I agree with you. This is a very good start. And also, you know, when we write a hook, what is the hook? Do you understand what I mean by hook? These hooks should be statistics, or it's about general background information. The purpose of this hook is to attract the reader, and it should be written in a way that attracts and keeps the reader reading. Yani, because sometimes if the hook is not that strong, they can simply stop and they don't continue reading your introduction or reading your essay. Okay, so let's start with a good hook here or background information. Yeah, I like your suggestion, Dr. Stan. That's great. Yeah, thank you, Abdulaziz. All right, let's summarize what you said. First, start with general background information. And this general background information can be a quotation. You can write some very attractive statistics or very strange information. It can be facts or statistics, as I said. Or you can start even with a rhetorical question. Okay, then after you move from the general background information, you have to move to the topic, because the hook is general. You can't say that the hook is the topic sentence, or it gives guidelines of how the essay should include what the reader expects. No, it's not about that at all. It's about catching the reader's attention to the topic. Then you move from general to specific. You have to state the topic in a topic sentence. All right. Then you have to conclude with the thesis. And again, what we say about the thesis is your point of view What do you want to tell me about this topic? What do you want to say? You can give me guidelines about the next or the coming paragraphs, whether you're going to talk about the positives, as we see here. We talk about arguments against, okay, and the arguments for or pro and against. So here in the body paragraphs, you have to state this in your thesis. Your thesis should show this. Show the body paragraph number 1, which is supporting the argument, okay, with supporting arguments about why government should, okay, because the second one is about should not, okay. So body paragraphs usually contain a topic sentence and supporting details. You don't need to write any other things in the body paragraph, because the body paragraph include only a topic sentence with supporting ideas. Now we finish body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2, right? Then we have to conclude or write concluding paragraph. Again, I will take you to what we do and what to include in the concluding paragraph. A brief concluding paragraph where you summarize both arguments, okay, pro and against, and give your opinion. That's the point. You have to say what you believe or what you think. And if you have any predictions or any recommendations you can include in this paragraph. Okay, let me see if you have any ideas about how to start the first body paragraph. How can we start the first body paragraph? We need a topic sentence for body paragraph 1. Any suggestions, guys? Okay. All right. All right. Very interesting. Okay, Hassan. Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay. Okay. Great. Great. Thank you, Abdulaziz. Thank you, Omar. Abdul Masin. Great ideas, guys. Thank you. You know, when I just want to summarize what I said. In body paragraph 1, normally we start with the ideas or with the argument that we should, or let me read it as it is. Yes, the government should make the advert for junk food illegal. They should be made illegal. This is in the first body paragraph. In the second body paragraph, you have to go in should not be made adverts for junk food illegal. So should not. Okay, that's the keyword. Mhm. believe that the government should not. Okay, I agree with you, Abdulaziz. Yeah. Yeah, it will be a quite. Mhm. Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. I agree with you, Dr. San. That's great. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we need to include when we write body paragraphs, we normally look for examples. It's better to include examples, or you can include explanation. If you have information, you can explain using your language, or you can add facts if you have any facts you can include in this. So examples, you can give explanations, you can give definitions, you can give whatever to support your uh, topic sentence. Now let's move to the concluding sentence, concluding paragraph. I want you to write the first sentence of the concluding paragraph. Of course, we include many sentences, but I want you just write one sentence for your conclusion. If you want to write more, that's fine, but let's give the chance for everyone to participate. You can write one concluding sentence. Yeah, I didn't change the slides. Okay. I'm just expecting everybody to write one sentence as a conclusion. You can make it a summary of what you discussed in the two body paragraphs, or you can make it as opinion sentence, or you can simply make it as recommendation. Okay. In conclusion, the government should monitor. All right. Okay. All right. Great. Here you are supporting one opinion, right? In this case, you are showing your opinion. Okay, that's fine. You are supporting this opinion. But generally speaking, when you write your conclusion, it's better to include all the parts, the different opinions, the first and the second, all together. And you can add your own at the end. Okay, that's all, guys. Thank you so much for your time. And I apologize for starting late. And I'll also apologize for the technical problems that we faced today in today's workshop. And thank you for your uh, participation and for your contribution to this presentation. Much appreciated. I think it's time for questions. If you have any questions, I think Dr. Basim is going to give or choose the guys who.
Okay, thank you, Brother Ibrahim, for this wonderful workshop, and thank you all for attending the workshop. And I think we don't have much time for questions. So I just shared with you 3 links. The first one is the evaluation form. Please complete the evaluation form. Your name is correct, your email is correct. And the second one is appointment, our appointment system. If you have any concerns or any comments, you have something to show us, please book an appointment with us, and we will be happy to assist you. And the third one is our YouTube channel. So thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.